Hello and welcome to this another video lecture of business statistics. As in our previous video lecture, we have already discussed about the meaning, detailed meaning of mean and median. We have also discussed the properties of mean and median, merits and demerits of mean and median. Now we will start with our new topic mode. Let's understand with the meaning of mode. So mode is one of the popular measure of center tendency like mean and like median. So as in mean, what we have studied is that a mean is basically a set of average. Mean is a set of average and the median is the middle value of a set. Now what is mode? As it is a part of a centered tendency. Mode basically is the value that appear most frequently in a data set. The value that appears more frequently or many number of time in a data set, that value will called a mode. Suppose we have a series of number 1 to 10 and number 6 is appearing three times in that data set, then number 6, the value 6 is a mode for that particular data set. So basically that means is a mode. So this word mode came from a French word that is la mode, which means that anything that is in fashion, that is mode. If there is a particular thing that is in fashion, then that will be used by a large number of persons. So when then a particular thing is used many number of time, then that is mode. So basically, this mode is a measure of center tendency in statistical series, which determines the value which occurs most frequently in a given series. So that basically known as mode. So in other words, we can also say that mode is that value of set of a series which has the highest frequency in a given series. Let us consider an example to understand this term mode in detail. Suppose there are 100 students in a class and out of those 100 students, 30 students opt for mathematics and 30 students opt for physical education and remaining 40 students opt for physical education. So then the mode for opted subject will be the physical education, as large number of students have opted for physical education. So this is how actually mode works while calculating in a data set. So basically, as a mode is a statistical measure of central tendency and it is properly used in statistics. So basically, it identifies that the most frequently occurring value in a data set like mean and median, which rely on the numerical properties of the entire data set, in which in mean we have calculated the average of data set by dividing the total number, and in median we will calculate we will arrange the data set in ascending order or in descending order, then we identify the middle value of that data set, that will called a median. So, mode is purely based on the frequency. Okay, so it is particularly useful for understanding the most common or popular value within a set of a observation. Okay, so let's understand the definition of mode, what the definition says. Basically, as you can see on your screen also, the definition of mode is that the value of a variable which occur frequently in a distribution of is called mode. So that value which occur most frequently or more time, that distribution is called mode. Okay, so what we understand from mode is that the mode is the most commonly observed value in a data set. Okay, so for calculating mode, if we want to take some major understanding from this mode, then what will be it? Said that that mode is most commonly used, most commonly observed value in the data set. For the normal distribution, the mode is also same value as the mean and median. If data is normally distributed among the sample population, then the value of mode will same as the value of mean and median. Then it will not. Then it does not matter for from which method of central tendency you will calculating. Or you are measuring the data, the value for both these three method, mean, median, mode, is same for normally distributed data. And in many cases, the mode value will differ from average value in the data. Okay, so in many cases, the mode value will always differ or sometimes differ from the average value in the data. As there is one more example on your screen, in which there is a data set given from 1 to 8. In this data set, the most frequently occur number is 7. So in this data set, the mode of this data set will be 7. After that, there is two value also. Those are occurring for more than one time. That is 1 and 6. Okay, so there is this, one special thing about the mode, that mode can be one, mode can be two, mode can be three, and it is also possible that there will be no mode in a given data series. So this is a unique quality of calculating a mode. So if we from this we have already understand the meaning of mode with example. Now let's understand the properties of mode. What the properties of mode says. Now let's understand the properties of mode. So first property of mode is uniqueness. As I have recently told you, that mode is unique, as mode can be absent or mode can be multiple with a data set. So in while calculating mode, a data set can have one mode, a data set can have two modes, a data set can have more than two modes, or it is also possible that there is no mode in a data set. So basically, when there is one mode in a data set, as we have also seen in this last example, then that is called unimodal. When there is one mode in a data set, that is called unimodal. When data set have two modes, that is bimodal. If any series have two mode value in that, then that will called bimodal. After that, when a data set have more than two value, more than two mode value, then that will call multimodal. If any data set have three, four, or five modes, then that will call multi-modes. And if there is no mode in a given data series, or if there is no value repeats in any data series, then there is no mode. So this is a very unique quality of mode, which is not in which you cannot get while calculating median and mean. Okay. So next point is not affected by extreme values. So unlike like mean and median, this mode is not affected by the extreme values, as the mode is insensitive to outliers. There is no space for the outliers while calculating the mode, as we have to identify only those values which are occurring most time or many numbers of time. So this is very easy to calculate the mode from a given series of set or given value sets. So in mode, extremely high or low values do not affect the mode. So it can make a very stable measure in the presence of the outlier. So it is very easy to calculate mode, and it is uh, totally not affected by the extreme values or the high values. As in case of mean, the mean is totally affected by the extreme value, and it is very difficult in mean to calculate while having the high values. So next point is applicability of to various data types. So there are various data types which we have while collecting the data. So when we collect data through the from the sample population with the help of questionnaire, or you can say with the help of primary data or the secondary data, then there is a way then when we convert that qualitative data into quantitative data, then there are various type of data. So the data types are nominal data, ordinal data, or interval and ratio data. So these are the data type which are mostly used for the data set. So mode is suitable for all the data types. As mode is suitable for nominal data, ordinal data, and for interval and ratio data. It is applicable for all. So let's understand all these three, nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio data in detail. Let me explain these three concepts in detail, as they play a major role in a statistic analysis or while applying statistical tool. So what is nominal data? Let's first start with nominal data. So basically nominal data, or you can say nominal scale, is the simplest form of measurement scale. While we have to measure our data, so nominal scale is very simplest scale of measurement which is used in statistics basically. So it classifies data into distinct categories that cannot be ordered or that cannot be ranked. So each category is unique and has no quantitative value or inherent order in that. So basically, the primary purpose of nominal scale is to label or is to name the different category. So, in nominal data, also known as categorical data, which means in which we divide into different categories based on the attributes or based on their qualities. So each category is a mutually exclusive category, which means an observation we have taken from a sample population can being or can belong to only one category. So basically, in this, the categories do not have a specific order or do not have a specific rank. You can give any category to any uh, you can give any category to any observation. So there is basically there is no hierarchy among the categories that it will get this category or it will get this category. So basically it is used when we convert our qualitative data into quantitative data. So basically, nominal scale or nominal scale data is that qualitative rather than quantitative. Basically, it describes quantities or characteristics of the observation. So if we have to understand with an example, suppose we have collected data from a sample population and there is a question gender. So uh, so what we have done is that we have given a category to gender like male, female, or other. So what we do in this, while we convert that question or that category into nominal scale or nominal data, then what we will do is that we will give a number to all these three. Suppose we will give male a 1, female a 2, and other for 3. So there is no category. So each category in this represent a distinct group with no hierarchy or with no order. So it does not affect if we will give female a number 1 or male a number 1. Okay, so this is how it will work. Like marital status, we will take marital status, and in marital status we have given number answers like single, married, unmarried, divorcee, widow, etc. So in this case also each category is unique and there is no ranking among them. So this is how nominal category or nominal scale or nominal order work. Now let's come to ordinal data. What is ordinal data means? So basically, ordinal data is a type of categorical data. It is also categorical data that includes value with a meaningful order or a meaningful ranking among the characteristics, okay, or among the categories. So, like unlike nominal data, ordinal data not only categorize the variables, but it also allow for a rank order between them. So, however, the difference between the ranks are not necessarily equal or quantifiable. Okay, so it is not necessary in the case of ordinal data or ordinal scale data. Okay, so basically in ordinal data, the categories have a specific order or have a specific rank, which implies a relative positioning among them. Okay, so the data is qualitative. It provides a sense of magnitude through the ranking in this basically ordinal data. So there is a unique interval in ordinal data. So the interval between the ranks are not necessarily equal. So the exact difference between rank are unknown and non-consistent. So if we have to look towards the example of ordinal data, then let's consider an example like education level. We have given some categories to education level like primary, secondary, undergraduate, graduate, uh, more than graduate. So what we have to do in this case that these category have a clear order. So in this, we have to give primary 1, secondary 2, undergraduate 3 or graduate 4 and so on. We cannot do that. We can give secondary number 1 or primary to number 2. No, we cannot do that. So we have to give a proper category which will give clear order, but the interval between them can vary. Okay, so it is very important for that. Let us understand with one more example. Suppose we want to know the customer satisfaction about the particular product. So what we have done in that, we have given the category like very satisfy, unsatisfied, neutral, satisfy, very satisfy, like this. So in this also we have to give a clear order to them. We cannot change that order. Okay, so this is how it will work. Now, next type is interval and ratio scale or ratio data. So, what in interval data basically is a type of numerical data where the interval between values are meaningful and equal. So, unlike ordinal data and nominal data, which have provided a rank order or an interval data, in interval data basically measure that exact difference between the value. So however, interval data lacks a true 0 point, meaning zero does not indicate the absence of the quantity being measured. So if there is a zero in the value, then it also have a meaning in interval and ratio data. So we have taken someone's age. Okay, so age is in numbers, so that numerical data is a interval or a ratio data. Okay, so basically the difference between the two consecutive value in interval is the same through the scale. So making the interval consistent and meaningful is very important. So there is in interval ratio there is no true 0 point in that. The 0 point on an interval scale is attribute and does not represent the absence of the quantity being measured. So, for example, the Celsius temperature scale is 0 point degree. So, it does not mean that there is no temperature. In interval or ratio score scale, there is a meaning of zero also. Okay, so it is basically a quantitative in nature, whereas ordinal and nominal categories or scale are qualitative in nature. Interval data is quantitative in nature and it allow for various mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. So, if we want to understand with an example of interval data or ratio data, then temperature or age is the best example. If we are taking a temperature, the difference between 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius is the same as the difference between 30 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. But in this, 0 degrees Celsius does not mean that there is no temperature. It will also count in while doing analysis through individual data or interval data or ratio data. Okay, so these are the three so basically these are the three points: nominal, types of data, nominal, ordinal, and scale, ratio scale. Okay, so this mode is applicable to all the types of data. Now next point is simplicity. So in mode, when we discuss about the mode, it refers to the easy of understanding and application of the mode as a measure of central tendency. So the mode is easy to identify and understand. In large data set, it can often be visually identified from the histogram and frequency distribution. As we have discussed in mean, that it is not possible to create a histogram or any graphical representation is not possible in mean, but it can be possible in while calculating the mode. So it is the simplest method among all the three methods to calculate central tendency through mode. Next is graphical determination. So the mode is frequently the highest peak in a histogram or the most frequent bar in a bar chart, or it make it easy to spot visually. Okay, so graphical determination of the mode in statistic basically involve using visual representation. Okay, so it also identify the most frequently occurrence value in the data set, which is also called mode. So the mode basically represent the value that appear most frequently or has the highest frequency in the distribution. So if we talk about graphical method, so graphical method are particularly useful when analyzing largest data set or when a quick visual assessment need to be done. So in that case, graphical representation is very important.